Welcome to Couch Convo with Coach Karla. I'm your host, Karla Lewis, and this is where current events and mental health converge. I am joined tonight with my special guest, Dr. Rosie Davis. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
And just so that everybody can know, I know her from my days as a student at the University of Memphis. She was Vice President of Student Affairs.
Yep, I held 3 positions there, but I think I was Vice President.
Vice President of Student Affairs as I worked as a graduate assistant while I worked on my master's in counseling. So that was how I met her. But tonight she's joining us because she has written a new book called Rosie's Superpower, The Power of Imagination. This is one of the cutest books, children's books I've seen, and it is very well written and very well illustrated. Yes. I've enjoyed it since I got my copy.
I'm delighted to hear that.
This week. So, but just so everybody can know a little bit more about Dr. Rosie Davis, and I'm learning her new name to me for right now, so I'm getting used to that. But she also, in addition to working in student affairs at the University of Memphis, in addition to her other roles, she addressed poverty and other crucial issues through her research and advocacy. She has also been a past president of the American Psychological Association in 2019. She is a graduate of Elmhurst as well as Ohio State University.
The Ohio State
University. She is a founding board member of the Women's Foundation for a Greater Memphis and has served as the chair of the board from 2006 to 2008. She currently serves on the board of directors for the Baptist Women's Hospital and the board of governors of the New Memphis Institute. And so I just wanted to give everybody else a little bit more background information, but she did grow up here in Memphis as well.
I grew up in Memphis, that's right.
And graduated from Manassas High School.
Which is why I'm in gold and blue.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay, and she was the 3rd in her class at that time. Mm-hmm. And so I'm just elated to have Dr. Davis here. And Dr. Davis is also a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, and so she is my soror. And that, of course, that makes me even happier to know her. But we're going to talk to her a little bit about this book. Now, this book is autobiographical in nature?
It's based on at least a couple of things that happened to me. So, but so it has a foundation in my life.
Okay, it has a foundation in her life. Mm-hmm. As I read some of the information, Dr. Rosie Phillips Davis shared that she hopes her story will inspire children to harness the power of their imaginations and believe in their potential to create positive change. Why do you feel like that's important for us to talk to our young people about that now?
Well, and now, more than ever, Dr. Karla, it's important because with the advent of social media,
yes,
what we find is that children now are so lonely and isolated. Mm-hmm. They feel like they're connected because they're on TikTok and they have hundreds, sometimes thousands. I have a nephew who has millions of followers.
Really?
Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we have never, you're a therapist, we have never had more loneliness and isolation because those little instruments that we all use, I'm addicted to my phone too. It makes us feel like we're connected, but then time we put it down, we're alone. And the reason that we go back to it is because we want to connect again. So we aren't talking to each other like you and I are doing now.
Yes.
We are not talking enough to each other. And every single child goes through something.
Yeah,
There's not
that's
a
true.
child who does not go through something.
Right.
They make decisions about how to manage their lives. And so it's important for families to help those children. For me, I kept mine inside.
Yeah.
I didn't tell people what was going on with me.
Yeah.
And I know as parents are reading the book to children, they're beginning to tell me stories about their children and about what happened to them as children. So that's why I know that it's important. When I wrote that book, I didn't start out to write a children's book.
Okay.
I did work when I was a psychologist working on poverty,
Mm-hmm.
in order to get people to pay attention,
Mm-hmm.
I told the Rosie story. So I'd get their hearts,
Yeah.
and then they would pay attention to
Yeah.
the data.
Yeah.
And so I started to tell that story. The other reason that I put that story in there talking about poverty is because people have so much shame around poverty. I got to talk about poverty all over the world.
Yeah.
And people would come up inevitably, especially in the United States, and whisper to me, you know, I was poor. Because they don't want people to know it.
Yeah.
They don't want people, there's a lot of shame around it. So I started that to make sure that people knew it was okay to talk about poverty. In psychology, we now have one psychologist who's written